Hello everyone, this is Manivarsha. In this video, I am going to explain about Agile model. Agile model is basically a process model. So what is a process model? Process model involves set of activities, actions and tasks that are required to engineer a high quality software. So far we have seen many software development process models such as waterfall model, incremental model, RAD model, that is rapid application development model, a few evolutionary models such as prototype model, spiral model and concurrent model. But these process models have a common disadvantage, that is, what if user requirements are to be added at the last stage of software development? It would obviously result in huge loss and rework. In order to overcome this disadvantage, we have come up with Agile model. So Agile model is a combination of iterative and incremental process models, wherein each iteration typically lasts for about 1 to 3 weeks. And each iteration is a combination or set of framework activities. So what are framework activities? Communication, planning, modeling, construction and deployment are nothing but set of framework activities. So here it involves planning, requirement analysis, design, testing, coding and acceptance testing. At the end of the development of a software, the work product is displayed to the consumer or the customer and important stakeholders. As you can see in the picture, for waterfall model, you take all the requirements at a time and then start developing the product. And coming to Agile process, you take the requirements and go for the development of the model and a few more blocks. It is a block stage development of software, wherein new requirements are added and then developed again. So even if the customer or the consumer gives us the user requirements at the particular stage of the product, even then the requirements are welcomed and the product is developed. So here are few of the assumptions that the Agile model takes. So it assumes that there is a difficulty in predicting changing of requirements and customer priorities. And it also assumes that for many software development, the design and construction are interleaved. That means at a particular stage of the development of a software, few more requirements are added, or at the end stage of the product development, few more requirements are added. That means the requirements are interleaved, which creates a huge loss. And it also assumes that the final product after construction might not be as predictable as we like. So here are few of the expectations or the requirements that we expect from an Agile model. That it should be adaptable, it should adapt incrementally, and it requires customer feedback. And for developing a software using Agile process, there is a greater requirement for the communication between a developer and a customer. Because in each iteration, the customer has to give the user the requirements required. So here the process goes like this. The developer takes the user requirements, implements the product, and then delivers the product and takes the feedback from the customer. And then if any feedback is given, adding new requirements, then iteration planning is done again, and then implementation process is done, and delivers the product and takes the feedback. And so the process goes on until you get the final required product. And here is a graphical representation of an Agile model. As we know that Agile model is a combination of many iterations of framework activities. So here comes the iteration 1, where it involves planning, requirement analysis, designing, building and testing. And again, if few more requirements are added, then it goes for iteration 2. Again, planning, requirement analysis, designing, building and testing activities are done. And even if the end product is not satisfied by the customer, and if given few more requirements, then goes for the next iteration, and so the process goes on until you get the final required product. So here are different Agile models used for developing a software. First comes the most popular Agile model, that is RUP, Rational Unified Process. It is an online mentor that provides guidelines, examples or explanations for different stages of software development. Then comes SCRUM. It helps us in developing a softer software. It involves constant testing and documentation process. Then comes Crystal. It has a planned and regulated movements for developing a software. Then we have extreme programming, that is XP. It uses an object-oriented approach for developing any kind of software. And then comes adaptive software development, ASD. It is a technique used for developing or building a complex software or a complex system. Then comes feature-driven development, FDD. It is a practical process model for object-oriented software engineering. Then comes dynamic systems development method, DSDM. It provides framework for building and maintaining systems which meet tight time constraints. So these are different agile models used for different required software developing methods. So we can say that there is a greater advantage of using agile models. So here it is barely enough to create any kind of software using any of the given agile models. It gives us a very realistic approach to software development. It promotes teamwork and cross-training. And resources requirements are minimum in agile model. It is a very good model for environments that change continuously. Late changes in requirements are also welcomed. So it is suitable for fixed or changing requirements. It is here there is no planning required and it is easy to manage. An agile model gives us flexibility in changing the requirements, or it gives flexibility to the developers to develop the software. And finally, creating an SRS document is very easy for agile model. Thank you for watching.